Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited to have you all with me today. I wanted to give a huge shout out to the Parapost Network, BB3 TV, and Paranormal Brew for inviting me into the fold. They are collectively working together to unify the paranormal community. If you're not familiar with me, welcome. I'm your host. My name is Charli, and our mediator today is Christine Dennison. If you would like to know a little bit about me, this is the hour to know more about me. I am many, many things. I'm a shaman. All shamans actually are psychic mediums. I'm also a healer, obviously. And I have some background in demonology. I'm an ordained minister. I have just really exhausted, well, I'd like to think exhausted the field of metaphysics. I think I could live probably 3 lifetimes and not learn everything. I've also done training in Kundalini. I'm a master mentor. I'm a Kundalini fire dragon mentor. So I have lots of wonderful credentials behind my name that really don't mean squat. It means I'm a big nerd. And being that nerd, I just wanted to pursue metaphysics in the greatest capacity. I really wanted to make changes within myself. Never in a million years did I think I would be able to assist other people. I knew I wanted to, but I never thought I would be used in the capacity that I am today. What's really cool is, as you learn and grow, and for me, it started when I was in my late teens. I had a pretty significant head injury that actually became a near death or death experience. And after that, that's when all of my gifts, so people would call it, came to be. It wasn't that exciting for me. It was rather disturbing, and I was trying to figure everything out at the time. And that's really what kind of led me on my path to find out, why do I see dead people? Why am I hearing this? Why am I experiencing these things? And on that path, I made tons and tons of discovery, and it just kind of had me looping through everything. And I had many educators, many mentors, a lot of fantastic minds that I have worked with. And I am just a big nerd when it comes to metaphysics. And that really led me to where I am today, almost 3 decades later. And I really wanted to share that information with other people. So here's my disclaimer, and I say this in all of my classes with my students. My way is not the only way, nor is it the only right way. It's simply my way. And I'm choosing to share that with you, to encourage your development, to encourage your interest. That's the whole reason behind it. And I figured today would be a great day for you to just kind of get to know me. And I figured I would start taking anybody who would like to join me, and I would do a reading for them or answer any questions that they may possibly have. And I'm posting in the chat the actual link. in case you wanted to join me. Oh, you guys are so awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I know I probably don't fit the mold for what most people think that a shaman could look like, quite honestly, and I get it. Lots of people have in their head that we, are indigenous people who live in a forest and a shack and we just kind of wander the woods. And I definitely don't fit that mold, as most people that are driven to the shamanic path really don't fit that mold. We are mothers and fathers and wives and sisters and brothers, and we're all looking to really get to know ourselves and to really be of service to man in general. The difference between a typical practitioner in metaphysics and a shaman is we embrace and we incorporate light and dark, the shadow and the light. We, in no way, shape, or form, believe that everything is love and light, nor should everything be love and light. We acknowledge it, we embrace it, and we understand the need for balance, as above, so below. Thank you so much, love. You're so great. So I think there's a huge misunderstanding between the two of, what we have imagined in our mind and what the reality of that is. And that really leads me to the topic, I guess you could say, is labels. Man, humans love their labels, right? And those labels really fix us in a very strong position in our life. If you view yourself as, I am only a mom, I am only, I am only a 35-year-old middle-aged woman with no formal education, and that's all I'm going to be, then you're right. That is all you're going to be. Whatever you tell yourself, that's exactly what you're going to believe. That's exactly what you're going to be, because you've labeled it, you've already accepted it. If you broaden that, you drop the labels and you go, I'm human and I'm going to do all of the things, then you will achieve those things. But it's the labels that really, truly hold us back, which is why you will never hear me say, I am this or I am that, or, boasting that this isn't the place for that. When I mean place, I mean earth is not the place for boasting or anything. I'm no better than anybody else. I'm no higher than anybody else. Regardless of the knowledge that has been compiled, you can have the same knowledge. Anybody can. That doesn't make one person better or worse than anybody else. But I feel like the labels are truly paralyzing to the human race. That's where a lot of our separation occurs from. And then we start to identify good, bad, better, worse, things of that nature. And unfortunately, I feel like that is the big thing that paralyzes us. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Hello. How are you, Patricia? Hello. Lalena. She would like to. Do you have a question? I'm so excited to have you. Hello. She's not responding. Maybe she's not hearing. Lelena, are you there?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh,
Hi.
sorry, the mic was on mute. I just joined in. I was trying to join in. I finally joined in. Hello.
Hi. How are you
Hi.
doing? I'm going to turn you up a little bit on my end. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. How are you tonight?
Very well. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Do you have a
Um,
question for me?
I always have a question for you, Charlie. Um, let's see. Question would be, do you like I feel something saying something to me really loud and I feel a big block, but I feel like I'm wondering if you can hear what that is. It's definitely from a guide.
See, I don't feel a guide. I feel like it's your grandfather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't feel a guide.
That makes sense.
Um, I mean, obviously your guides are there, but I don't feel like you have not received any information that they have um, given you.
Right.
Um, I mean, they're talking about balance. They're talking about um, the health issues that you're overcoming. The You're trying to get better control. These are all things that you know, though. These aren't things you're unaware of. I feel like what you're not hearing is from your grandfather, which is take the help that's offered and don't have guilt or shame in regards to that. Does that make sense to you when I say that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just because of being sick and not being able to like work and like using savings and then feeling guilty about that. Really guilty about that, like, just not being able to fully contribute my life without using my savings is hard, and having everyone in my family know about it too.
Well, I think that the moment that you say, I don't want this or I don't deserve this is why I jump all over everybody when it's like Christmas and they're getting gifts or their birthday. And they're like, oh, you shouldn't have. And the first thing they do is run through that mental hamster wheel. Did I get them something? I have to get them something comparable or better than. That's the first thought. And really, you just have to sit back and have grace and receive and be really grateful that the
Right.
universe says you're worthy, you deserve this, you know?
Yeah.
And if everything around us is a reflection of our projection, right? Then, man, I deserve it all. Bring it on. Bring it on. That's how
Yeah.
you have to receive it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually am, that shift has really given me that like feeling, even if it doesn't stay all the time, it's there most of the time now, ever since the 17th. So it's really, really awesome. Like, I still go back and forth, but yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
There's
Did you
so
have
many
any
good.
other questions for me?
No, there's just, I can see all your people behind you. There's a lot.
Yeah, I was wondering
Light show.
how many people, because I know I attract a lot of metaphysical peeps, and I'm like, I wonder how many people are going to see them hanging out in the back. I got a full house tonight, man.
Yeah.
So good times, good times.
Yeah. Thank you,
But
Charlie.
thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you, you too.
Okay. Bye bye. Hello, Anne. How are you? Good to see you. Hello. Thank you, Patricia. You are such a doll. And we looks like we have Miss Lisa here. Okay. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Charlie. How are you this evening?
I'm well. How are you? Did you have a question for me, love?
Actually, no. I'm sorry. I'm still fumbling with this platform. I'm
That's
sorry to be
okay.
the
That's
interviewer
great. You
here.
can just sit and view, and that's cool. No problem. Okay. Hello. Does anybody else have any questions? They want to come up here and join me. Happy to answer them. Super exciting. Hello, Miranda. How are you? Thank you for coming. Oh, it's Alicia. Hello, Miss Alicia. How are you? Hello, love. How are you? Did you have a question for me?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't know. I just clicked on the link. I don't know if I have a question. Maybe I do.
Maybe you do.
Okay. Yes, I do.
Okay.
What are some tools that can be used whenever I'll just kind of like tell a little bit of a story and maybe that'll clarify the question.
Yeah.
I felt like I was having a really great day today. I felt very satisfied. I felt very in the flow. Everything was really good. Evelyn my daughter, didn't have to get a cavity filled. Like everything was just so great. And then something just kind of like shifted in me. Now, I did have a few clients today that had a lot of heavy energy, or just not even just clients, like people around me were kind of feeling some heaviness. And I also know that tomorrow I have a big cleansing coming up. So I was just wondering, how can we tell the difference between maybe having a lack of energy from things that have happened from previous, and maybe a sign that getting a message for something that's coming, like a client or people that you're going to be around in the future?
So again, just talking strictly from my experience, when I'm going to have clientele that are heavy clientele, I will have a very specific team member that will show up. So my guides, my team, I will have one very specific team member that shows up, and I know, okay, that's the kind of day I'm having. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So let's say you're not clairvoyant and you're not aware of that particular team member. Another way that you can tell is when you leave an interaction. I recommend this to everybody. When you leave an interaction, do you feel better or do you feel worse or the same after leaving that interaction? If you feel the same or better, that was a very good energetic connection. If you don't, then you need to stop, balance, clear, ground, and release. None of that belongs to you. None of that is from you. And then you can move on to the next interaction. I don't care if you're doing it in your car at the grocery store or if you're doing it in your office. Take those few minutes and do that to see where you're at and to gauge, that's my recommendation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I definitely have a guide that always tells me with heavier stuff, and he did pop up yesterday, and he's kind of been with me the past couple of days, and I felt super protective. I felt super good, and then probably just within the past like half hour, something kind of hit me. And I was like, what's going on? And then I checked my schedule and I noticed that I have something tomorrow, and I was like, I don't really feel that guide around now. So I'm like, that's why I came on and asked. So it sounds like I just really need to ground.
So I don't want to perpetuate, any negative thought processes, and I hate that word, but heavy thought processes, but you are stepping up. You are becoming a lot more visible. And when you step up and you become more visible, then there are people, I know that that's hard to believe because especially in our frame of mind, it is the frame of mind. I hope we all succeed, but there are individuals that even just for that moment, they go, well, damn it, I can do that. Why can't I?
Mm.
And I think that may have something to do with that as well.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting. Just so
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and I
You're
love
not
that.
telling me
Thank
what
you.
you're stepping up to.
Okay.
I'm just being told you're stepping up and you're becoming a little more visible in public.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's perfect because whenever I got the soul retrieval,
Uh-huh.
we had mentioned this totem being rebuilt, and I had a totem animal come up, a spirit animal that I would have never guessed, and it has been super present with me, and all of this really makes sense because this animal keeps telling me that this is why it's here. So
Is the totem now, future, or at the end?
I feel that it's definitely present with me now. Yeah.
Awesome. Very
So
cool.
lots
Good.
of peacock energy, lots of
That's
eyes shooting
awesome.
back.
That's great. That
Very
is
cool.
great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
it.
thank you so much,
And you know
Charli.
what? We have a comment from somebody that's watching that says, don't let them enter your peace.
Mm.
So great words of advice. Yeah, don't,
Yeah, thank you, Miranda.
Yeah, absolutely. But thank you so much for coming on. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much for your wisdom as always.
All right. You have a wonderful day, love.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Excellent. Does anyone else have any questions or anything that they would like to ask? Come on, don't be shy. If you're super, super shy, that's okay. Totally safe space. You can keep your camera off and just do the audio. Anybody have any questions? Okay, well, you guys decide. I am going to do my little plug for my sponsors, who I am just blessed beyond imagination. And the first sponsor is Simply Be Well Gifts. Their address is on the screen, and so is their website. It's a really cool little metaphysical shop, great energy, really knowledgeable staff, and the prices are really comparable. I've been to a lot of shops, obviously, over my time, but this has got phenomenal staffing. They have a lot of original works from a local shaman. Really great stuff in there. I really encourage you to go out, check them out, and give them a great shout out. Tell them I sent you. And our next sponsor is audibletrial.com. If you go to audibletrial.com, you will receive 1 month free. The audio book that I recommend for this week would be Becoming Nobody by Ram Dass. And really that's in line with what I've been saying as far as labels. We love those labels, but the reality is we don't need them. We don't need them. And sometimes becoming nobody sets you free to where you can become anybody. Excellent. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad you found the link to watch. I am really, really glad. Leilana, did you want to join us? I can't see. I see a comment here that says You have a question for a friend. Would you like to join me? Yes. I'm excited. Okay.
Yes, because
Okay.
I had gotten a message, and you have spoken with this spirit before. So, um, my friend Kirsten, her daughter Isabella, who I was helping work with over the summer, um, her Kirsten's mother's name is Katie, and that's who you spoke with before.
What was the name again? I'm sorry. I got to turn you up again. What was it again?
Kirsten's mother, her name was Katie, but I think you called her Catherine.
Yeah.
And she came through to you before, and she was like, I'm there when she's nervous. But her daughter, Isabella, is having issues, and they think, like, some intuition is saying, because it ran in the family, it's Fitzhugh-Curtis syndrome. And they were like, could you ask to see if you pick up anything on Isabella and if that resonates or anything with that.
I feel like there is a lot of mental energy that's trapped. So I think that it's really strange what I'm seeing, because I feel like there's a lot of mental energy that's trapped that makes it look similar to someone I would see with like ADHD behavior. But it's more so, and it's progressive on both sides and not just one side, where ADHD, I'm only going to see that on one side. Does that make sense the way I'm describing it?
Yeah.
Does she have like restless leg syndrome, something with her legs?
Yeah, like her leg, like she had knee surgery before, but her legs hurt her so much all the time. She's just in pain all the time. Her stomach is killing her. They're doing all these tests and blood work, and they, different levels are not right. But
her magnesium is very low in her body.
Yeah, she's a vegetarian, mostly vegan.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
with cheese, only cheese is.
Yeah. So her magnesium is really, really low. I mean, I know that they're aware of this. Her protein, she's like, you can hit a point where you become malnutritioned. And regardless of if you're 150 pounds or not, you're still going to experience the depletion in minerals that your body needs to survive.
Wow. Yeah. I have like total spirit with me when you're saying this right now. Wow. Yeah.
It's super important. But I got to say that the very first thing that I heard was magnesium. So she definitely, I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe, obviously, my disclaimer, right? But I would talk to her physician and really have some panels done and look at that. And I also think it's affecting her hormones as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, she's getting into a whole slew. We have the adrenals. The adrenals aren't draining properly, I'm seeing. She's got a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I think a lot of it can be attributed to not having enough minerals. I know we fall back on nutrition, but we overlook the mineral composition that the body needs in order to function. Yeah.
And is there anything that you could suggest for a solution in stepping forward in a solution emotional state to do any work for the physical taking care of herself, like in her own head? I see that as like a block. It's like, oh, okay, like take care of yourself, but what's this like that emotional thing? When you said that, it like popped up where it's like blocking her and almost keeping her in a mindset that's like very
I feel like there is this, what I'm hearing is unworthy. She has this feeling of not being worthy. And a lot, and again, a lot of us go through periods of our life where we feel that.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I'm getting. I also feel there's tension, a lot of tension in the home.
You're so right. Do you think there's
Yeah.
any solution, like any ideas as like something that would relax that in any way for the home? Like a suggestion?
Um, I have like a 50. I have like 50. Where would you like? Okay, let's do easy ones that they can adopt fairly quickly. Um, Having too much stuff in one space doesn't allow your mind to actually rest because you're always thinking, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. And you become overwhelmed and then you shut down.
Wow,
So,
you're so right on, but it's like impossible because of running a business and having a million laundry, horses, blah blah. You're so right on though. It's never
yeah,
ending. Never.
yeah.
Not it can't be because there's vet
So
24/7.
you have to find a space
Right.
to decompress.
Yeah.
Like really a nice blank, clear space to decompress.
Right. Like keep the house laundry, keep the horse laundry at the barn.
Yeah,
Like, across the street. Like
yeah.
stop. Yeah.
And I feel
Wow.
like, muddling it, it's just really muddling the environment.
Right.
You got a lot of conflicting energies. I want, I must, I should, right?
Right.
But I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I can't do any of the things. So meanwhile, while you're trying to decompress, you have this in your face, you should, you must. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. That makes so
So
much sense.
that would be something I would say would be easily attainable.
Right. Yeah. Like just letting go of the clutter and making a space that allows you to relax without thinking, hey, I have to go 24/7.
You know what, too? There's some like financial things that are going on with them that they're concerned about. So, give her this message from me. She's going to be just fine. No, she's not going to be able to go out and buy that Lexus, but she's going to be just fine. Breathe, relax. The universe is going to provide. She's going to be just fine. Okay.
You're going to make me cry because I know that already and I knew that, but I knew that she was thinking that for the past year.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. Just this constant, oh my gosh, I have $700 left in the bank. How am I going to do this? Like, that's the thought process that's going through. And she's going to be just fine.
Right.
History has proven she's been just fine. So she'll continue to be so.
Right. And you're so right on, but I'm going to tell you about that another time. But yeah, that is so crazy because, because her dad decided that no more of his children will have any help from him, only the grandchildren. But she's already fine on her own, but it's like a mental thing, like you're saying.
Well, I think it's controlling the factor too.
Right.
Let me prove how much you need me. And I think it's that passive aggressive, narcissistic borderline behavior that she doesn't want to deal with that anyways.
Yeah, you're right. Doesn't want to deal with that narcissistic attitude from him.
And she's going to feel so good when she says, look at what I've done on my own without support.
Yeah, because they're selling that like big mansion and they're moving into the small farmhouse, but they're redoing the whole thing. The one that you said is fine, but they're just never going to leave. They're just staying there.
Yeah.
So it's the renovation's getting done, but yeah. Does that feel safe?
I think so. I think the renovations are going to drag out for a long time. I don't see renovations being completed. They move in and happily ever after. I see renovations started livable moving in and continuing for quite some time.
Yeah.
And that's okay too. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with that. That's okay too.
Yeah.
You know?
Go with the flow.
But I think she would enjoy it more if she like really invested in how she wants it to look to reflect her, because in the prior home it wasn't a reflection of her.
You took the words right out of her mouth.
Yeah.
You're tapped in, yeah. And I have another question. Am I allowed to go into that new house when it's done? Is that safe for me to go in there with them? Or do I bring too much?
You always bring too much.
I know.
No,
especially in that
I
space.
think that, yeah, you know, it goes back to boundaries, good, strong boundaries.
Right.
You have the capacity to invoke those boundaries. The real question is, are you going to choose those boundaries so that you can do that safely?
If I can keep remembering to say, if
Yeah.
I can keep remembering to be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, wait, leave me.
Yeah.
But
that's really,
you know how hard that is for me. So,
but you can do it. You can do
Right.
it. You
Thank
can do
you.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
This will help them, Charli.
Good.
Thank you. I appreciate
Good.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. You have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful night.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? This is fun, guys. I love this. Yes, absolutely. It was a fantastic question. Does anybody have any questions? They can be developmental questions. They can be just personal questions. For sure. Yes, it is. It's a lot of fun. I love this. Excellent. You are so welcome. Absolutely. Hello, Miss Donna. It's good to see you. Patricia, good to see you. Excellent. Let's see. Tips on Kundalini rising. Yeah, there's tons of information on how to raise your Kundalini. Really, you have to start with the basic principle through the chakra system. I think the lotus, man, what a great symbol. All those petals that are slowly unfolding. And that's really what we're doing developmentally. And I know everybody wants to start out and they're like, I want to be clairvoyant. Like literally 90% of my students, that's the first thing. I want to be clairvoyant. And everybody has the capacity to develop their clairs to the fullest capacity. But you have to start at the base of the chakra system, the root. You have to start there and work your way up to clear each and every one of those chakras before you can make it to the third eye, to the crown, to have it completely open. You can have various stages of awakening each chakra point, but in the totality, before you can ever have a Kundalini rising, you have to have all of your chakras completely clear and completely open before you can even consider a Kundalini rising. There's tons of examples and literature and books and biographies that will discuss spontaneous Kundalini risings from people who were not seeking enlightenment, yet enlightenment sought them out. And there was numerous effects that had sometimes disastrous effects, and other times it was blissful. So I caution anybody that is taking that path of Kundalini, that you take it very seriously, and that it's not just another, hashtag that you put on your screen, that it is something that you're pursuing with integrity, and something that you intend to continue to pursue with integrity. It's not like, okay, I achieved it, I'm done with it. It is a way of being. I hope that answered your question, Alicia. Thank you so much. Does anybody else have any questions? Let's see. Excellent. Excellent. If you would like to join me, this is the StreamYard link that you can join me at. Fun, fun, fun. And really, just because of my background, I teach various classes and modalities and metaphysics. So I'm used to really having like an extremely structured scheduling. And I think this was kind of fun to just throw it out there and go, okay, I'm just going to do readings tonight. I think that's a really cool way of doing it. But if you guys have any thoughts on what you would like to hear me talk about each week, or a topic of interest, because, I kind of gave you my spiel, my background. I know many different things, but I don't know what's of interest to you. So if there's one thing in particular that you would like to have discussed, drop them in the comments, and I'd be happy to plug through them week by week with you guys. Awesome. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. It is. It is absolutely a way of being. I think when, especially in our current culture or climate, there's a lot of individuals who are, really talking about, I am awake, or I am awakened, or I am woke, or whatever the terminology is. And, if you're talking contextually in ancient scripts, awakened is the process that you are going through to become in a state of being, of not having an attachment of the mind. And an attachment of the mind is simply saying, I'm going to allow my left brain to analyze the hell out of everything and label it. So, yes, a way of being. Absolutely. Very cool. Thank you so much. Well, it looks like dream interpretation. Yeah, that sounds like fun. So do we have any other questions out there? Oh, Lisa has a question. Okay, I'm going to add her. Let's see. Hello.
Hi, Charlie. I'm still fumbling with this new tool and making it work on my device, but
that's fine.
Thanks for being here. But I do have a question that actually may even need more time on another evening to circle back to it. I'm not sure. But with the current state of the environment, I feel like a lot of people are really struggling in the area of depression and with overall mental health inquiries. Is there anything that you would recommend for someone who's not yet sought help for depression, but
Mhm.
feels like they're kind of struggling with it?
There's a lot of things. The first thing that comes through to me is two: self love and shadow work. Those are the two main things that I would highly recommend for somebody who is encroaching depression. The third would be spiritual exhaustion. Are you experiencing that? That's something to pose and think about. And I know people, they think of spiritual exhaustion and they're like, oh, that means I must be doing so many spiritual things, I'm exhausted. No, that's not what that actually means. It means that you are plugging along on your path in life and your soul is exhausted, that you are not doing what it wants to do. And it becomes
Right.
exhausted in the mundane and the repetitive and the routine of not doing what the soul is there to do.
Well, and I think you're really hitting on something there. I'm a practitioner and I do what I have to do to keep me feeling up. But I'm noticing a trend in I'm, not that anybody is exempt, but I'm noticing a trend among the people in my life that are around the age of 35 and under. And I think it's been heavily influenced by, the last 2 years of lockdowns and such. But there's this failure to launch. It's sort of a failure to re engage life, and there is a funk of heaviness that's like building upon itself. Um, and these are non metaphysical people. So, always choosing the right way to kind of inspire and motivate non metaphysical people is somewhat of a challenge. But I'm noticing a bigger trend in that. And I may have tapped into something that we'll have later discussions, but um,
No, no, I hear what you're saying, but I do think that it is beyond a small group of people. I think it's hitting all people. Are you on your path? Are you doing what your soul is meant to do? Because the universe has this way. It's can be quite cruel at times. If we fall off of our path and we're just plugging along and we're doing our thing, the universe is going to kind of smack our ass. And what I mean by that is we're going to have a significant event that will make us kind of veer back to where we should be. If we keep going off that path and we're down way over here, then there's going to be a really traumatic event that'll push us back where we need to be. Because regardless, if you start off at A and you're going to end at Z, you have to follow through with what that soul is here to achieve. And I feel like a lot of people are waking up to the fact that, holy crap, this is not where I want to be. I was not meant to just work, survive, and pay bills. And that's really what I feel a lot of people are coming to the awareness of. Did that help
yeah,
answer your
absolutely.
question?
It absolutely did. And I definitely appreciate refocusing back on that because In a way, you're right. The failure to launch can come from the dread of
Yeah.
not wanting to go back to that ticky-tacky, mundane,
Hmm.
approach to I must work, pay bills, and that's it. So I thank you for that answer, because I do think that that is probably the way to um, try to reach them in a way that is going to be inspiring or motivating, by challenging them to ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah,
And like really consider it, without it being, oh no, you must just go get any job just to do something.
absolutely.
I definitely appreciate that direction. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. And then we have, it looks like Miss Miranda. Hi, how are you?
Oh, ignore my hair.
Oh no, my
It's
hair
been
looks
a
like
day.
a Farrah Fawcett kind of day. It's cool.
Yeah, it's been a day. It was like one of those days I posted. I was like, I just really miss talking to my dad today.
Yeah, yeah.
So I found out information. My mother's been basically trying to wipe this woman from our family history. And I happened to be going to Dallas, and I don't know if you remember seeing her or me showing you the picture of her.
No, I remember talking to you, and I remember vaguely of her being like native descent. Would that
Yes.
be correct? Have I got the
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
Okay.
And so anyways, after we left her graveside, because we found her graveside,
Mhm.
and my grandmother was telling her background, her history. Sorry, I'm trying not to get the ceiling fan in the background here. Um, we left, and it was just like I was driving and I saw this big bright star like in my car,
Mhm.
just coming like at me. And just like gratefulness came over.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like she
Yeah.
was just internally grateful. And then it just happened to be my grandfather's third anniversary of his death. And, I felt like as soon as I walked into my grandmother's house, I was attacked by him. I say attacked because he came, and he came right here,
He's
and just
very
like
energetic. Yeah.
very energetic day. And he had my dad with him. I swear he had my dad.
Mhm.
And he just basically just wanted me to ask my grandmother, what did you do with my chair?
What did you do with my chair? Yeah.
She
I
goes,
think it's really cool that you found out that she actually was being hidden, though. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
so there's more to her story, I know, but and I'm so intrigued. I just want to know more. But I don't know necessarily where I need to go with all of that, because my mother has decided on ancestry.com to put all of that information on lockdown.
Okay.
So, and the other question is she still hanging around since I took her back to her gravesite?
Is she
Not
still?
intentionally trying to get rid of her, but at the same
Well,
point,
here's the thing. I know everybody believes, you know, like the ancestors that they hang out at their grave. In my experience, that is not a thing. It's not interesting. They can't energetically connect with anything, right? I mean, a tree, sure, cool, wow. You know what's more fun? A person.
yeah,
That's way more fun. And they really want to connect with their family. They want to keep an eye on things. And I think we had this, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we talked about this. You know, she wants to be there in a protection sort of way, not
Mhm.
in a way that is manipulative or angry or anything of that nature. But if
Yeah.
you don't want her presence, if you don't want her present, you can simply tell her to leave and she will. Um,
I quite enjoy her presence. I feel like I I've got her photo on display in the house now because I just want to actively
acknowledge,
recognize her and acknowledge her,
yeah, for sure.
um, and just show my appreciation and love.
Yeah, she is just really, in my opinion, she is really providing protection. She's looking over you. She's trying to give you a heads up on things. She's trying to let you know that you're loved in a time when you may not feel so lovable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's fantastic. I think it's awesome. We really underestimate and undervalue our ancestors because, man, do they work hard behind the scenes, things that we aren't even aware of. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I had to have a tough conversation with my grandmother, because, you know, raised in the Bible Belt. It's like what came first, the egg or the hen.
Right.
And it was, well, the Bible, it's inherent, da da da. I'm like, but, you know, they weren't in Roman, Catholicism when the Bible was written. The Bible was written in Greek and then and Latin, and
You start going down that rabbit hole, you'll go
it is a
nuts.
rabbit hole. And so it was just,
It is.
it, that's the family I come from. So they think I'm, diving in the deep dark arts, and I'm trying to tell them, no, I'm not. I'm like just trying to be accepting of what is actually going on around me right now.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
I will tell you, in the shamanic belief structure, we accept, not only do we accept, we appreciate and we embrace the thought processes of all belief structures because they all hold value. All
mhm.
of them hold value. There is not one that does not have value, you know?
Good. Good. Well,
So,
I guess I just wanted that confirmation that I just didn't send her back.
no, I think, honestly, I think that she's a very loving, caring, compassionate, just wanting to give you the love that you may not necessarily receive in the human realm right now,
Mhm.
but to provide that for you, anyways. And, we all need that feeling of um, safety and feeling secure. And I think that she's trying her damnedest energetically to provide that, to let you know that you're not walking this alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is unfortunate, the events and the lengths to which they are hiding and or have hidden up until our conversation.
Yeah.
This just very fantastic soul. I appreciate you coming on and giving confirmation of it, though. That's fantastic, and I'm really glad that you have that confirmation because I know it can make you feel like you're going nuts. You know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. And then, your neighbors or, my neighbor. So I had that day was very, very spiritually a lot for me.
For
So
sure.
once I got home, I was in this point of like, I needed to be left alone. And the neighbor came in, was like banging on the door and looking in the window. And so
Right.
like I was like, you don't realize I'm on the verge of a seizure and you're sitting here crying to me
Right.
right now about why you can't have a child. And
Right.
I'm like, I can't handle you. So like I put up dark curtains in my house
Mm-hmm.
by my front windows and everything.
Right.
And I'm like trying to shut everybody out because I'm tired. I live on a corner and everything is like, I'm trying to
Just, you know what? You just
control
need
that
to,
peace.
you're trying to set up visual boundaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
To reinforce the emotional boundaries that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you have those visual boundaries, really focus on those emotional boundaries.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
focus on that. That's where your concentration should be. And, you know, surround yourself by people who are going to applaud you, celebrate you, and push you to achieve and be your
Yeah.
personal cheerleader. If they're not doing that, then you need to find new people in your group. And I mean, no
Yeah.
disrespect by saying that,
No.
but that's just my belief, you know?
No.
So
I agree completely.
we're
So
only as good as those whom we surround ourselves with. But I just got my notice and I am over, love. And I appreciate you taking the time to come on.
well, I
And
appreciate you. And so
absolutely.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Much love, hon.
Okay. Bye bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.